Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the beginning of this chapter, Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Shukadeva Goswami. Why, if the Supreme Lord Vishnu is impartial, the well-wisher of everyone, does he favor Indra to protect him and battle against, often annihilate, the Asuras? How is this impartial? Now, for some of us, it may be an obvious thing. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. The Lord tells us in Gita, He comes to this world to protect the innocent, in this case the demigods, and annihilate the miscreants, the demons, and reestablish the principles of religion. So He's stating that right out. And also, He's doing it again and again. Samoham sarvabhuteshu, Krishna tells in Gita that I'm impartial. I don't favor anyone. I'm everyone's well-wisher. So we find that Maharaj Parikshit is not just listening. He's hearing very, very attentively. It's not just a ritual. He's deeply trying to understand every word that Shukadeva Goswami is speaking. That is the nature of a sense of urgency. When there's an urgent crisis that's right in front of you, usually you become extremely attentive in that situation. When things are just going along, the tendency is to just go along with it. In order for the message of Krishna to deeply enter our hearts and transform our consciousness, we must intensely be hearing and intensely chanting. Because Krishna tells in Gita that He reciprocates according to how we approach Him. If we approach Krishna in a leisurely way, then Krishna will give us some leisurely realization of Him. If we approach Krishna very urgently, desperately, with great need, then Krishna will give us a very intense experience of His presence in our life. You see, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the 5 principal items of devotional service. And especially these 5 principles have to be taken very, very seriously. When we are forgetful about the predicament of material existence, we take things lightly. And that's when Maya gets us, when we're off guard. Yes? Just like sometimes ghosts attack people when they're sleeping. Hare Krishna. Because you're completely off guard. Even Indra When DT fell asleep, right? He just went right into her room to kill the kid. So as long as we're intensely taking shelter of the Lord, Maya cannot touch us. To the degree we're intensely taking shelter of the Lord, Maya cannot. She can allure us through temptations, but she cannot overcome us. Because Krishna is there to help us. But if we're casually taking shelter of Krishna, Maya has the power to infiltrate and overcome our consciousness. Maybe all at once, maybe little by little by little. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days to live. We're already in the 7th canto. So several days have already passed. For him, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam was his all in life. It was everything. He wasn't worried about, the grades of his children in school. He wasn't worried about any economic crises that may have been looming over his head. He understood death is coming. It's not only coming, it's here. That was his state. So he was listening carefully. He wanted to understand every detail to his capacity. It's not that that Parikshit Maharaj was just kind of waiting, tolerating these lower chapters. And in his mind he's thinking, I'm just waiting for the Rasa Leela to come. It wasn't like that. He understood, if I want to approach the Rasa Leela or Krishna's more higher pastimes, I must deeply understand everything here. Because you see, this question today is very, very important. He's trying to understand Krishna. Krishna is inconceivable. He's achyuta. But still, according to our capacity, we want to understand Krishna. We want to know Krishna. And the process of knowing is to hear from those who know Krishna. Can't believe it. Is that Namananda Prabhu? Of all people to have cell phone go off in the class. Amazing, amazing. I'm sure it will never happen again, though. Thank you very much. He was so absorbed in the class, he almost forgot to turn off the ringer. That was the thing. So absorbed, he forgot to turn off the ringer. Shukadeva Goswami is so happy with this question. Because it gives him an opportunity to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the loving relationships between the Lord and his devotees. This verse, Shukadeva Goswami is saying that such wonderful topics about the Lord and his devotees always counteract the miseries of materialistic way of life. Always. But of course, the power is there. But how much we access the power is based on our receptivity. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. The first principle of receiving knowledge is to approach an authority, a guru, and be submissive. If we are not submissive, we are not receptive. If we think we know, even if we know a lot of good things, and even if those good things are right, still, if we're in an imperfect state and we think we know, that attachment to our own knowledge, it blocks the mercy from flowing deeply into our hearts. Because Krishna consciousness is not about academic information stored in our brain. It's about accessing the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, the first principle is to be submissive. And how to be submissive? Krishna showed us through his own devotees. Bhagavad Gita, as long as Arjuna thought he knew, he could hear from Krishna, but he couldn't really absorb it. So Krishna did not bother to even speak to him until he was submissive. Karpanya doso pahata svabhava prichchami tvam dharma samrutacheya. He was put in such a crisis situation that he came to this realization. This battle is before me, and there's loved ones, people I respect, people who it's my duty to honor, and they're on the other side. I have to fight them and kill them? He was very, very much confused. Serious crisis. He tried to work it out in his own mind, with his own intelligence, but it was impossible. Like a fly in the web of a spider. The more it tries to get out on its own, the more it becomes entangled. Prahlad Maharaj tells that material solutions to material problems, the solution creates a bigger problem than the original problem in due course of time. But one of the greatest downfalls of humanity, historically, is very few people, including the greatest leaders, really have a vision of seeing the whole picture and how our decisions will affect the future. We become so caught up in the moment to resolve the conflict of the moment. We make our elaborate plans. But how is that actually going to affect the future of my life, future of the world? Yes? Science and technology, so much. So many comforts and benefits are being created. Why? Because they make money. And actually, even medical industry, they're making drugs that might cure a certain illness, but most of it's being sponsored and funded by these massive drug companies. And they want that to make money. Yes? They want the drug to make money. They may care about your health too. But one of the reasons they care about their health more than other people It's because they're going to profit from it. So if they find something that's going to help you, government regulations and everything, they're supposed to be, checking and balancing. What we see oftentimes creates something worse. The industry of today, common sense. Even back when they first started industries, it's common sense. If you do a little research, it's going to pollute the environment, and more people are going to start doing it because it's successful and it's profit-making, and soon the whole ecology is going to fall to pieces. Anybody who's sincere could have figured that out in the 1920s. But no one was really thinking of that. You can't say they were bad. They just didn't even think about that. They were thinking about the now or the near future. So today, yes, there are scientific investigations and scientific research and trying to create all these different new technologies of biology and so forth. And it may appear, this is great. But it could be the downfall of civilization. We don't know. Mahatma means one who is broad-minded. Broad-minded means that seeing the whole picture. Not only seeing the past and the present, and not only tomorrow and the next year, but seeing in the future, in terms of eternity to that extent. That is why sometimes different predicaments took place. Srila Prabhupada would fight like a hero at Radhanath Bihari temple. He was battling against forces materially far more powerful. He didn't have a chance. The devotees were very much flustered and frustrated and confused. They were diseased. In fact, the main warrior of Srila Prabhupada at that time was His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, who was arriving at 11:30 today in Bombay. Not here, but at the airport. But he will be coming here after almost 10 years of not being in India. So I have to end class soon because I'm going to the airport to greet, offer my obeisances and gratitude to him. Yes, when Prabhupada was dealing with that situation, he wasn't just seeing a little piece of land way out in the suburbs of Bombay, which wasn't even a good place for a temple. He was looking years. He was seeing from the eternal platform. He was seeing the whole picture, everything. So the miseries of material existence, they are there. Shukadeva Goswami says that just hearing and speaking the topics of the Lord always counteracts the miseries of materialistic life. But we must very, very seriously, with a submissive consciousness, hear. That was Arjuna's situation. He was miserable. He became submissive. I don't know, Krishna, tell me. Then his heart was ready to receive knowledge. An illiterate person who's submissive will get more benefit in the association of a saintly person than a learned scholar who can cite 100,000 slokas, who doesn't have that submission. Because Krishna's bhavagrahi. He sees our sentiment. He doesn't need our knowledge, but he wants our love. So yes, Parikshit Maharaj, cursed to die in 7 days. He was already a great devotee, but here he's very, very submissive. And Shukadeva Goswami says, if we hear with this submissiveness, without fail, this message will elevate you to a transcendental platform by which all miseries of material existence are counteracted. Therefore, great sages like Narada are always hearing and chanting and giving others the facility to hear and chant. Para upakar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that this hearing and chanting process to facilitate others in this path is the greatest welfare work there is. Because what is welfare about? It's simply about counteracting the miseries of material existence. Yes? You don't hear much about welfare work to people on Malabar Hill. You hear about welfare work to people in the ghettos, to people in tsunami relief or earthquake relief, because they're suffering. Material miseries have just crushed upon them. So to counteract miseries is welfare. But a Mahatma, one who sees the whole picture, understands. Give a person food, they're going to be hungry again. Give a person medical relief, they're still going to grow old, get disease, and die. And the same thing's going to happen to the wealthy people, just in a different way. The same miseries, just different style. Yes? You can die of cancer wearing a gamsha, or you can die of cancer wearing your elegant marriage gowns with nice gold and earrings and mascaras. Give me my wedding dress, I'm dying. Is there a difference? Yes, there is, to some people. Oh, she died in her wedding dress. Died in a gamsha. Life is spoiled. I don't know if ladies wear gamshas. Because, I'm a sannyasi, I don't know all these things. So, it's like that. Birth, old age, disease, and death. Whether you go through the process as a great, prosperous hero who has made the front page of the Financial Times dozens of times, or whether you go through birth, old age, disease, and death as a brahmachari on the floor of the ashram. It's just different dresses. What does it say? He missed his flight. Really? He missed his flight. No comment. I was once with him, and he missed 3 flights in a row. Seriously. Because he just gets so much absorbed with people. It's time to go, but he talks to somebody, and then, Maharaj, it's time to go. Soon, Maharaj, it's too late. You make another, change the flight, and he talks to somebody else. Maharaj, it's time to go, and he's just so absorbed and absorbed. He's too much in the mode of goodness for this Kali Yuga scheduling. Amazing. But I won't make any comment. So, can only worship his lotus feet. Where was I? Huh? Oh, yes. We were talking about whether ladies wear gumptions. So what is the difference? Old age, disease, and death. Just passing through it in a different dress, in a different house. But the purpose of human life is to counteract birth, old age, disease, and death. And this Hari Katha and Hari Kirtan is the means by which Krishna has given us to counteract birth, old age, disease, and death. Now, everyone may have their opinion, but Krishna has created this material existence. He knows how it works. He knows why it works. And he's also given us the way to counteract it. Tasmat bharata sarvatma bhagavan ishvaro hari. That the means to rise above all fear is to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. Therefore, it is the greatest welfare. It solves the problem. Finishes birth, old age, disease, and death. Enlightens the eternal soul. And restores our relationship with Krishna. Harinama, Harinama, Harinameva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. There's no other way. Shukadev Goswami is so grateful to Parikshit Maharaj because he's so submissive. Shukadev Goswami knows that whatever I'm going to speak to him is going to save his life forever because he's so submissive. He's compassionate. Shukadev Goswami is not just speaking because he's going to get some respectability of being the one chosen to speak this Bhagavatam in front of everyone else. A very prestigious event. The most prestigious katha in history. With the assembly of the greatest scholars and sadhus ever. And he's being asked to speak to a king. Very prestigious. But he doesn't care anything for prestige. He only cares one thing, to save Parikshit Maharaj's life. He's going to die in 7 days. How to save his life? By saving his soul. And this is the way to do it, by speaking Hari Katha. So he's very, very much appreciating and grateful Parikshit Maharaj because Parikshit Maharaj is receiving it. If you really want to give something to someone in a spirit of compassion, that you will feel indebted and grateful to that person if they receive it. Because we don't want anything for ourselves, we only want for you. So the greatest thing you can do for me is just accept it. Srila Prabhupada was asked, what can we do to repay you for this debt? You have given us everything. You've pulled us right out of the lowest modes of ignorance and passion. You've given us Krishna consciousness. How can we repay you? Prabhupada didn't want money. Prabhupada didn't want anything. Except, he said, you can repay me by accepting what I'm giving you and sharing it with others. And those who preach the message of the Lord, the greatest treasure to find is someone who urgently, submissively wants to hear. That's treasure. That's wealth. Because there our service can have very, very substantial effects. Prabhupada said, better one moon than thousands of stars. So yes, we may give class to 10,000 people. Of course, 10,000 moons are better than one moon. But if even one person is seriously, submissively hearing, that is a great treasure. That is what a compassionate preacher is longing for, to really help someone. Shukadeva Goswami begins this sector of the Bhagavatam. Because this question, he's ecstatic by this question of Parikshit Maharaj. Because he knows how he's going to answer it. And this answer is not only going to thoroughly enlighten Parikshit Maharaj, but it's going to thoroughly enlighten for all eternity anybody who hears it. He's going to speak the story of Prahlad and Lord Narasimhadev. And Srila Prabhupada said, Shriman Hiranyakashipu. In a lecture, Prabhupada, right, he speaks how we should offer our obeisances and to be very grateful to Hiranyakashipu. He's done great service for the world. Yes, because without him, nobody would ever appreciate Prahlad. No one would have ever taken seriously his teachings, and we would have never seen the form of Narasimhadev. So Shukadeva Goswami, this is the key, the essence of transcendental life, what we're about to see right here. Parikshit Maharaj is totally submissive. He's longing to hear with great attention. He's really, really, really listening because he understands its birth, its life and death. I have to understand this. I'll give a gross analogy. you're flying an airplane as a pilot. And all the controls start going out. And you don't know what to do. You're absolutely flustered. Because you only know how to fly an airplane with the controls. All the controls are gone. And you're crashing. You're just going down. And the air traffic control tower is telling you there's only one way to save your plane. Now listen to my directions. Now you're not going to have time to repeat it because you're going down. You can't say, well, I kind of spaced out. Can you repeat that again? You're like, and he's saying you have to first, turn this knob, and then turn your, and then you have to turn this, and then you say, you're going down, our tendency, I can space out. If I space out in class today, I'll just listen to the tape. It's not a problem. Because, there's a tape ministry. I'll just listen again. Fall asleep. Just go and read it later. No problem. That may be true. But when you're listening to the tape, you'll do the same thing. That's the problem. So, there has to be this sense of urgency. There has to be. If your plane's going down and the air traffic control person is telling you, no, you have to pull this lever here and turn this switch here, your life and soul is going to be so absolutely attuned to every word he says. Do you agree? Just put yourself in that situation. Don't just listen. You're there. Your plane's going down. You don't know what to do. You're absolutely bewildered. And somebody's telling you what to do, and if you don't do it exactly perfect now, you're dead. You're attentive to every word. And if you don't understand something, you're going to ask it. Yes? That was Parikshit Maharaj's mood. He was submissive. Now, Shukadeva Goswami, why is he the person who's speaking? Because he's also completely submissive. He's in the same mood as Parikshit. That's how he's receiving knowledge. Therefore, he is not just speaking what he knows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Srila Vyasadeva, and then begin describing topics concerning the activities of the Lord. A real preacher, one who is in parampara, never thinks I know. Just as Parikshit Maharaj is submissively taking shelter of Shukadeva Goswami to hear, Shukadeva Goswami is taking shelter of Vyasadeva to hear before he speaks. Whatever he heard, whatever he knows, he has received from Vyasadeva. It's not his knowledge. It's a gift. It's a gift of God coming through parampara. So he's showing his gratitude. Without gratitude, the heart cannot receive blessings. Blessings could come, but they cannot go into the heart unless the heart is grateful. You can throw seeds in the ground, but unless this ground is fertile, the seeds will just dry up and die. For all of us, so many blessings are coming every day. Just because we're getting the blessings, it doesn't mean we're going to greatly benefit. We benefit by how we receive the blessings. When our heart is fertile, through gratitude, through a sense of urgent need, receptivity. So, Shukadev Goswami, he understands that whatever I'm going to speak is not my words. It's by the grace of my Guru. And therefore he offers his obeisances to his Guru. He shows his gratitude to his Guru. He prays to his Guru to empower him to speak. Srila Prabhupada, when he spoke to us, such profound knowledge, saved so many people's lives. But always in his heart, and at times he would express it, I'm only repeating the words of my Guru Maharaj. That is my only qualification. Very powerful statement. He didn't say that's part of my qualification. He said it is my only qualification for everything he did in the service of Krishna, for every life he salvaged from Maya. His only qualification is he heard submissively from his Gurudev, and he was repeating that message. Srila Prabhupada would sometimes tell us he wasn't necessarily the most erudite scholar amongst his godbrothers or other Vaishnavas. He was a great scholar. But he was not necessarily the most erudite. He admitted that himself. But why was he empowered to do it? Nobody else could even attempt to do it. Because he had the full power of Krishna with him. Why? Because he considered that his only qualification was he heard submissively from his Guru Maharaj, and he was repeating that message. You see, we can use our creative intelligence to try to affect people's lives. And that's good, we're supposed to. Prabhupada wanted us to use our intelligence according to time, place, and circumstance to reach people's hearts. That creativity is the duty of a disciple. But the real substance that transforms people's hearts is that flow of mercy that comes when we adopt the spirit of Shukadev Goswami and Srila Prabhupada. That my only qualification is I'm just hearing from my Guru Maharaj and I'm repeating those words. It's not about me. It's about the power of Guru's mercy. I'm just an instrument. When we surrender to just being an instrument, we become divinely empowered. When we think we're the doer, we're done. And we do. Blank bullets sound exactly like real bullets. You know what blank bullets are. It means it's a bullet. The gunpowder and everything's there, but nothing comes out. Yes? Person has a blank bullet. Person has a real bullet. Sounds the same. Maybe not because of my imperfect. It sounds the same. But one has substance and one has no substance. So two devotees may be speaking the same words. One may have minimal substance, one may have maximum substance. What determines the substance? That we consider that our only qualification is I'm just repeating the words of my spiritual master. That is Shukadev Goswami's realization.